Over 100 speakers have now taken part in GibTalks since its inception in 2015. Speakers covered a broad range of difficult and personal issues. Stories of dealing with cancer from a young age, living with deafness, and raising a child with autism left the audience emotional, while tales of fulfilling unexpected careers and climbing mountains literally exuded positivity. Organiser Julian Felice says that he's pleased with how it went and proud of what GibTalks has become, adding that the John Mackintosh Hall was surprisingly full from early in the morning, as opposed to other years where it has got busy later in the day. One element of the show Julian is particularly proud of this year is the increase in younger speakers.
So we made a point of trying to attract some youngsters to the event because in the past maybe we've had one or two younger speakers, and then it's been dominated by people who are just a little bit older and more established in their field. So we made a point of trying to get young speakers. They're not always easy to convince to do it, but in this case they're all very, very prepared, and I think they did extremely well. Francesca, Luke, Adriana, Youssef, they all delivered some really interesting talks. They did it in a very dynamic way. They were very articulate as well in expressing their ideas. So it was very gratifying to see that younger generation just come forward and deliver in that way.
It was also the first time there was a talk from someone who suffers from deafness. Maite Fasio-Beanland shared stories in her talk, Silent World. An interpreter was present throughout the event, a first for the show, and something that Julian says he's keen to continue. Now in its 6th year, the TED Talks inspired event will now take a short hiatus.
We made the decision, and it wasn't an easy decision, but obviously we are aware that the whole Mackintosh Hall complex is going to be converted into a big cultural hub for Gibraltar, and obviously the main element of that would be the new National Theatre, so that would mean that our home would be unavailable, and we did consider other venues, but we feel that GibTalks belongs here, belongs in the Mackintosh Hall, precisely because there's more to just GibTalks than the talks themselves. There's access to other cultural events that are happening around the building. So we felt it was a good opportunity to kind of have a little bit of a break, get the public to regenerate a bit of enthusiasm for it as well. As great as the reception is at the moment, we are concerned that if we keep going, maybe that the novelty will wear off. So we thought this is a good opportunity to stop the event for a year or two and then come back to it with even more energy.
But if you can't wait until then for it to return, you can catch up on this year's speakers, as GibTalks 2020 will be aired on GBC television in August.